Welcome to Valley Trivia Plug, match number 8. I am your trivia master for today, Mr. Benjamin, aka Michael Benjamin, host of Pass the Outlet. And we have a battle of the undefeateds. First, we have the Miller brothers, Throbby For Bobby, who took down the Gauntlet team, if I can say that, in the Cousins Bellic, going up against another undefeated group, our normal trivia master, Chris Patrick, and Valley Sports Plug contributor for a very long time, Ian, with Gumpin It. Gentlemen, how we doing? Let's start with Throbby For Bobby. Ben and Steven, how you guys doing tonight?
We came to win.
Yeah, Chris, I hope you looked at the globe that I sent you, unless it hasn't been delivered yet.
Well, Ben, everyone knows the Earth is flat, so I reject your globe, and it went straight into the trash can. Yeah, not excited for the history geography round. I got to be on the neutral side of that ass whooping, but I trust with Mike's knowledge of Ben's knowledge, I would rather none of us get them right than have Ben get all 6 right. So we'll have to see how that goes. Ian, it was a shellacking if you had not heard the stories.
But we absolutely nearly choked it away last time in the baseball round. So we did not make it out unscathed.
I will say, though, of course, it had to come down to Arizona State's very own James Harden to save Throbby For Bobby. But we're going to have a great time today, gentlemen. And Chris, I will say, I'm still learning Ben's history, geography knowledge as well. So we will see how I did today. But with that being said, we got to go over the rules really fast. Since both of these teams are undefeated, we're going to do a coin flip to see who gets to go first. And whoever wins that has 2 choices. You can either choose which team gets the first question, or you can choose the first category. And then after that, we'll basically just flip-flop who gets to pick the next category and then who gets that first question. And obviously, if you have watched Valley Trivia Plug before, you get 2 points for every correct answer. And if you are correct, you'll hear this beautiful correct buzzer sound. And if you are wrong, you get the X. But so 2 points for correct answer, 1 point for a steal. And we have our categories: basketball, football, baseball, history and geography, and pop culture. But gentlemen, what are we thinking? Chris, let me know. Okay. You're normally the trivia master. You both are undefeated. Who wants to choose the flip? Who wants to pick heads or tails? I'll let you guys figure that one out.
I honestly, I want to be respectful here. I think it should be age before beauty. So Throbby For Bobby can go ahead and pick the heads or tails.
Wow, what a gentleman. Tails never fails. Ben, I don't know how you feel.
Let's chase some tail.
Beautiful. All right, one flip. Here we go. Give it to me. And you are correct.
All right.
Tails never fails. Gentlemen, like we said before, we have our 5 categories: basketball, football, baseball, history, geography, and pop culture. What are we thinking to start?
We can't start with what would be round 2 of the Schlacking. So, Steve, I think one of the sports ones is where
I think we got the we're in the conference finals. Let's get some basketball.
All right. We're going to start with basketball today. And before we get started, I'm going to make sure to write everything out so we're keeping score properly. And obviously, if I do miss anything, please let me know, guys. But Throbby For Bobby picks basketball. So that means this first question is going to Gumpin It. Are you guys ready to rock?
It's born ready, Mike.
Oh,
Always. Yeah. All right. So you're going to get 1 minute on the clock for your question, and then 30 minutes for a steal if you do get that opportunity. So as soon as I finish reading the question, your timer will begin. And with that being said, our first question in the basketball round is: this undrafted UNLV power forward played 2 seasons for the Phoenix Suns from 2008 to 2010, playing over 70 games in both seasons, the most in his 10-year career. Who was that player? And your timer starts now.
Oh, God. Undrafted UNLV power forward. 08 to 10. Because I feel like around that time, I could be wrong. UNLV was like Westbrook and Kevin Love. But obviously it wasn't Kevin Love.
Westbrook was UCLA, wasn't he?
Yeah. Oh yeah, UNLV. Yeah, you're right. They're both UCLA. Yeah. Oh God, I couldn't even name a UNLV basketball player, if we're being honest.
The Stoudemire jersey there is just like screaming at me, and that's what I want to say, but it can't be that obvious.
No, and he came out of high school in Florida and was drafted in like 03 or something.
15 seconds.
Oh God.
I trust you, Chris.
10.
Boris Diaw.
5. Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Boris Diaw is incorrect. Throbby for Bobby, you have a chance at a 1-point steal. 30 seconds starting now.
I want to say Marion, but Marion was on the team for more than 2 years.
Let's think.
15
UNLV,
seconds.
Running Rebels.
Maybe not Jay
10.
Rich. He was a shooting guard. Let's go Marion. Sean
Final
Marion.
answer?
Final answer.
Sean Marion is incorrect. Sean Marion did go to UNLV, but Steven, you're correct. He played for the Suns for a very long time. The answer to this question is the man with the long blonde hair, Lou Amundsen.
Ah, sweet Lou.
Sweet Lou.
Sense. Yeah.
He averaged 3.7 points, 3.6 rebounds for the Suns. He played 60 games with the Indiana Pacers, but then never more than 46 another season. So it's safe to say his best 2 seasons were with the Phoenix Suns. But no harm, no foul done here. It's time for question number 2, and this is going to Throbby for Bobby. And here we go. The 2005 first-round pick from Syracuse played 2 seasons for the Phoenix Suns from 2010 to 2012, averaging 8.4 points and 4 rebounds in his first season. Who is this player? Timer starts now.
Hughes.
I'm going to be honest. I have no idea.
So Melo came out of Hughes, but this was probably 5 or 6 years before that.
Yeah. Because Melo was the national championship team, right?
Yeah. This
30 seconds.
Gary McNamara, but he was never a Sun. And again, another 2 years. Like some of these guys, the Suns had so many role players at that time that they just tried to see who fit because they had all the pieces they needed. And he was a first rounder.
10 seconds.
I don't know. I guess, do we go or not? No, let's use the clue. Jared Dudley.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Jared Dudley is incorrect. Gumpin It, chance for a steal, 30 seconds starts now.
Ian, for some reason, I want to say Brandon Knight, but I don't know. I don't think he went to Syracuse.
He wasn't on the team from 2010 to 2012. I'm pretty sure, right? Wasn't he later?
Yeah, you might be right because he was there during like the Brandon Knight, or no, I'm sorry, yeah, Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Knight.
10 seconds.
God, I don't know idea, Ian.
Tyson Chandler? I don't know.
I love it.
5.
Tyson Chandler, final answer.
Yeah.
Tyson Chandler. Great guess, gentlemen. Great guess. Pulling one from Chris. That is incorrect. Throbby for Bobby, you guys are on the right train once again. This guy played on that national championship team with Carmelo Anthony, and it was Hakeem Warwick. He was the 19th overall pick, played for 6 teams in 8 seasons. There was a lot of promise for Hakeem Warwick.
Jesus
but
Christ.
didn't really pan out.
My issue is first round pick is like if you're in the top 10, you're good. If you're like the 28th pick, you could be anybody.
He was an absolute catalyst for that national championship team, Chris.
How'd that work out for him?
Do you know ball? I don't know. But you'll have a chance to redeem yourself here. No harm, no foul once again. Nobody gets any points. We still have none on the board. Question number 3 goes back to Gumpin It. And drafted with the first pick in the second round of the 2009 NBA draft, this former Arizona State Sun Devil is second all-time in rebounds in school history. 1 minute on the clock starting now.
First pick in the second round. So ASU Sun Devils that made it to the league. It's not Lou Dort. Is it Ike Diagu?
Was Channing Frye a Sun Devil?
No, he went to U of A.
Okay.
I want to say Ike Diagu, to be honest with you. Because I'm pretty sure... I also want to say there's someone named like Quincy Pondexter sounds like a name that I should know, but Ike Diagu might have been earlier. I think I was younger when Ike Diagu. It's not James Harden,
10
is
seconds.
Can't be.
All right, Ian, what do you think?
Safe pick James Harden, I guess. I don't know.
James Harden, let's go.
James Harden is incorrect.
Yeah.
Throbby for Bobby, you have 30 seconds starting now.
Ike was also my first guess, but I do think he was like mid to early 2000s. So 2009, I actually think my first purchase at the Arizona State bookstore was this dude's jersey. We're going to go Jeff Pendergraph.
Jeff Pendergraph, is that your final answer?
Ben, you have any objections?
No, I think that James Harden went first round. So let's go final answer.
All right.
Jeff Pendergraph is... We got somebody on the board. Correct.
Yeah,
Jeff Pendergraph was a former NBA champion with the San Antonio Spurs. I don't know if you guys knew that. But this guy is still playing. He now plays with Indomables de Ciudad Juarez. He has played for a different team for like the past 8 years. And he also has changed his name to Jeffrey Ayers. So great pull. We got one on the board for Throbby for Bobby. And this question is going to them for 2 points. Drafted with the first pick in the second round of the 2005 NBA draft, this former Arizona Wildcat is fourth all-time in scoring in school history. 1 minute starts now.
I think this one is either Channing Frye or Richard Jefferson.
Am I just getting confused that Richard Jefferson is like an NBA personality? So I'm like, oh, he must have been a first round pick.
No, he was always kind of a journeyman. I think Frye actually is probably higher on the all-time scoring if I have to guess. So, but yeah, Jefferson, I mean, played for
30 seconds.
Like in that era. So I'd feel pretty comfortable.
I think
you feel good about that.
Let's go Frye then.
Oh no, I feel better about Jefferson.
Okay, then let's go Richard Jefferson. Final answer.
Richard Jefferson, great guess. It is incorrect. Gumpin It, 30 seconds for a steal, and your time starts now.
Didn't
Richard Jefferson? He's earlier.
He got drafted in like the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, he was on like the 04-05 Nets teams that got swept by the Spurs. Channing Frye, maybe. I'm open to hear what you got though before that.
Because again, so 2005, I'm coming back to this game I was at with Ike Diagu. I want to say Salim Stoudemire, but I don't know if he ever made it to the league. Was Channing Frye a second round pick? Mike, Salim Stoudemire.
Chris, sometimes you just got to trust your gut. Salim Stoudemire is correct.
Let's fucking go.
I think you guys are reading the question a little bit off too. Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson, they were first round picks. Salim Stoudemire was the first pick in the second round of the 2005
Yeah.
NBA draft. One of my favorite guys. Don't kill me. I liked him because he got drafted by the Atlanta Hawks as well. Nice work, Gumpin It. We're tied up 1-1. And this question is going to you, your last one in the basketball round. Question number 5. In 1970, this player was the first player to be named NBA MVP, Finals MVP, and All-Star Game MVP in the same season. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
In 1970? Ian, please tell me you know 1970s basketball.
No, a little bit, I guess. What are the chances that it's a Sun? I mean, like that's kind of where I'm.
I
hung
feel
up.
like-
I can't name anybody on the Suns from the 70s. It's probably Wilt or Mr. Lou Alcindor, but
I think
Yeah.
that's a safe bet because I don't think it's going to
30
be a
seconds.
Suns player because to win Finals MVP, you usually have to win the Finals, and that's something that the Suns haven't been able to do.
I want to go. Ooh, Oscar Robertson or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar would be my two guesses.
Ooh, I kind of like Oscar Robertson. Which one do you feel better about?
I think Big O, Oscar Robertson.
10
Let's do
seconds.
Oscar Robertson, final answer.
Oscar Robertson, final answer. Unfortunately, that is incorrect.
It's all right.
Throbby for Bobby, chance for a steal. 30 seconds starts now.
Steve, is this Pistol Pete Maravich?
I think Pete was even earlier. Because he was the logo. So, like, we're talking NBA, ABA merger, which I guess would be around the early 70s. I don't know.
10 seconds.
I think Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is the move.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Final answer, Kareem.
Gentlemen. Unfortunately, it is not Kareem. Ian, I'm a little disappointed. I know you're not a fan of this team, but this is New York Knicks legend Willis Reed,
Oh,
who
dude.
famously
Who?
was hurt. Chris, you're starting to scare me that I might have to label you as not knowing ball, my friend. You don't know Willis Reed. Everybody knows Willis Reed if you're a hoop head, or you should do some research. He has infamous clip of him coming back after injury in the NBA Finals and sinking some great shots and leading them to victory. But no harm, no foul. This is the last question in the basketball round, and it's going to Throbby for Bobby. So question number 6. Which player was the first to win the NBA Defensive Player of the Year award 3 times? 1 minute on the clock for Throbby for Bobby starts now.
I think it's got to be a center. I think
Yeah.
Kareem or Bill Russell or Wilt, one of the centers that just blocked shots. Trying to think who's
Or
defense.
who else? Who's the former Georgetown coach? Not Big John, the one after him.
Patrick Ewing.
Patrick Ewing,
30 seconds.
or to be a Piston from those bruiser teams.
I don't think the Pistons weren't that good for that long. That team was kind of a flash in the pan.
Who is the crazy hair that
Ben
played
Wallace?
on the Heat teams?
Ben Wallace.
No, the crazy hair that goes to North Korea.
10 seconds.
Dennis Rodman.
I think it might be Dennis Rodman.
All right, we'll go Rodman.
Let's go with Dennis Rodman. Final answer.
North Korea. It is Ben. Dennis Rodman is
Wow.
the correct
Okay.
answer.
All hail His Excellency.
Wow.
The
all
supreme
right.
leader knows ball.
He also doesn't poop.
No way. Is this some common knowledge?
Oh yeah.
All that poop time he's spending getting ball knowledge.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that was our first correct question that actually went to a team because the other 2 were steals. So after the basketball round, Throbby for Bobby is up 3-1. But it's time for Gumpin It to choose what our next category will be. So we have baseball, football, history/geography, and pop culture. What are you guys thinking?
All right, Ian. So Baseball is Ben's worst category.
I mean, that's my strong suit, so we can do that whenever. I don't know why we got smoked on basketball just now, but
Yeah, that was a tough go at it. Should we? So
Yeah.
I think we either rip the Band-Aid off and do history, geography, or pop culture. Do one of the non-sports categories.
I'm fine with either.
Let's do pop culture. I'm not ready.
He's,
Okay.
he's not ready. All right, pop culture it is.
How many
So what's
of the questions of pop culture are related to Tupac Shakur and whether or not he's still alive?
What part
I
of
mean-
Cuba is Tupac living in today?
I'm looking for a Timothy Chalamet Knicks fan.
I love it. I love it. You guys are on a great track right here. But we're starting this one off with Throbby for Bobby. Question number 1 is: actress Cameron Diaz went to high school with this famous celebrity and claims he once sold her the goods. And if you know what the goods are, it's the green stuff. 1 minute starting now.
Cameron Diaz, notable stoner. Okay, I see you, Charlie's Angel. Ben, you got any strong ideas here?
Where did she go to? Where did she grow up?
Probably Marcos
No clue.
Deniza.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you were gonna get the goods, going to Marcos, there's worse places.
Stevie?
30 seconds.
I have
How
no
old is she?
clue. With this,
Like this would have been like probably graduated in like the 80s or 90s.
yeah, I guess who's another celebrity around her age? Like we say-
Marky Mark.
Marky Mark in the Funky Bunch? Yeah,
10.
let's
Let's
go.
go. Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. The guy who is notoriously Catholic selling Cameron Diaz weed? That's incorrect. He's also from Boston, guys. All right, 30 seconds for Gumpin It starts now.
Okay, so I assume she's probably from like what, California? Ian, do you know this? First of all, do you know?
Dude, pick a name out of a phone book. I have no fucking idea.
I have
California's my guess, but it's because she's blonde. That's all. This is the shit I'm going off of right now.
15 seconds.
Yeah, I have like a face, but I can't think of the name. And I also, for some reason, want to say Matthew McConaughey, but I feel like he's from like
Texas.
the Midwest somewhere,
5,
Texas. Yeah.
2.
Jared Leto.
Yeah, there you go.
Jared Leto. I don't even know if that's really a good guess, but that is incorrect. Gentlemen, you've never heard of this story? Cameron Diaz, she went to Long Beach Polytechnic High School in California, was in the same graduating class in 1989 with the D.O.G.G. Snoop Dogg. He said he might have sold her that white girl weed full of sticks and stems. So
Oh my god.
Come
As I
on.
heard Long Beach, I knew.
That's crazy.
all right.
Fun fact: Colin Miller was the hand model for Jared Leto.
It says
Are you kidding
LB
me?
right behind her head. God damn it.
Oh.
That is a fun fact.
All right. No points for anybody on this one. So this is going to be the first question going to Gumpin It for pop culture. And it is question number 2 for the round. And this famous actor had a rap persona in high school called Lil Timmy Tim. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Now that is Timothy Chalamet.
It has to be, right?
It definitely is.
Yeah.
I've seen this on the Twitters. I like this Mac high school pick though. That's pretty cool. Let's go Timothy Chalamet. Final answer.
Chris, you asked for it. You received it. It's Timothy Chalamet. And folks, as you know, these questions are written in order. I'm not pinpointing and picking. I mean, the graphic literally says question 2. So it just must have been meant to be. That's 2 points for Gumpin It. And we're all tied up now. But this one's going over to Throbby for Bobby. Question number 3. This 2018 song has the all-time record for most weeks atop the Billboard 100. 1 minute starts now.
2018.
So what was the big bop before the world shut down for COVID?
It wasn't Dua Lipa, it's before then.
I'm not listening to a lot of the Billboard 100, so I'm not going to be a lot of help here.
Oh, I bet it's some Ariana
30
Grande
seconds.
song.
Thank You next.
You know what? Let's go with Thank You next. Ariana Grande.
Final answer.
Final answer.
That is incorrect. Gumpin It, you have 30 seconds for a steal starting now.
Chris, I feel semi-confident that this is Old Town Road.
I was thinking Old Town Road was my first thought.
If it's not that, it's Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles.
Could it also be that song by Drake where it's like, Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? I don't know.
Seconds.
Could be. I feel like Old
Nice
Town
for
Road has a
what?
longer.
Yeah, probably Old Town Road. I'm down for that.
5.
Yeah.
Old Town
Yeah.
Road, final answer.
Gentlemen, you're on a roll. Old Town Road is correct. Obviously garnered its popularity through TikTok, but it spent 19 consecutive weeks on top of the Billboard 100. It was one of those songs that you literally could just not go anywhere and not hear it.
Yeah.
But that's +1 for Gumpin It, who takes the lead. Now ahead 4-3. And they're getting this question. So question number 4. This American businessman, investor, and record executive famously purchased Taylor Swift's first 6-album catalog, sparking controversy. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Oh, I've heard this. I've heard about this. But I can't remember his name.
Businessman, investor, and record executive. Who is all those things?
It's someone you don't really hear about.
It's not Dr. Luke, is it?
30 seconds.
I don't think so. He has like a fairly normal sounding name.
Gotcha. Okay. Shit, I have no idea.
Yeah, because I think the guy you're thinking of is like who Kesha
10.
is in like a lawsuit with.
Yeah, he got sued by a lot of people.
Yeah. I have no idea.
5.
Throw out a name.
Shit, Paul McCartney. Final answer.
I love it.
Love me some Paul McCartney, but that is incorrect. Throbby For Bobby, 30 seconds start now.
I mean,
Man.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in, and he does not have a normal name.
The man who rose to fame as the manager for the Beebs. That's going to be Mr. Scooter Braun.
God damn it.
Final answer? Gentlemen, you know your Taylor Swift, it looks like. And Steven knows his Justin Bieber. He spent upwards of $300 million in 2019 to purchase Swift's old label, Big Machine Records, which included the pop star's 6-album catalog. And it was kind of crazy if you're a Swiftie, which my fiance is. So, Brianna, there's your Taylor Swift question. Number 5, we're going back to Throbby For Bobby, and we are now tied at 4 apiece. And question number 5. In the movie Space Jam, what does Bill Murray say when he finds out they don't have the ball? This is during the game, if you need clarification. But what does Bill Murray say? I did it already, and
What's
your
that,
1
Ben?
minute starts now.
I said, can you use it in a sentence? I mean, this is really embarrassing for us, whose younger brother worked on Space Jam 2.
I don't know, does he tell like Taz or someone to go get the ball?
I feel,
30 seconds.
I
or it says
can't.
something like we don't need balls, or like
We don't need balls.
we don't need balls where we're going.
Sure. Okay. Let's send it.
No, let's say get the. Yeah, he says get the ball.
Go get the
10
ball.
seconds.
Final answer.
Go get the ball is incorrect. Gumpin It, you have a chance for a 1-point steal. 30 seconds starts now.
Is he like, don't worry, I got this? Because what happens immediately after that? Do they just end up playing?
Is this the one where he calls a whole play? He's like, steal the ball, give it to me, take it to the hole, or something like that. You know what I'm talking about? He's like really out of breath.
That could be. Because the
10
Monstars
seconds.
the Monstars getting the ball is how they.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. You got it, Ian.
Yeah, steal the ball, give it to me, take it to the hole. That's my answer.
Oh, we get the video. Let's go.
Let's see if you guys got it right.
Come on, we don't need balls.
We
How-
don't need balls.
Where we're going, we don't need ball.
All right, hold on. Technical difficulties. All right, I know which one it is. Here we go.
All right, you need to score 2
Here's
points.
how I see it. Duck,
Yes.
you kick it into the girl bunny,
Yeah.
down in the post. You dish it back out to the guy bunny.
Got
You
it.
swing it around the mic over here. You go to the hole
Bill.
and dominate.
We on defense.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, I don't play defense.
Typical.
All right, you're gonna have to listen to Mike on this, guys.
Okay.
Listen up.
So they didn't have the ball on offense. And what we're looking for is Bill Murray saying, I don't play defense.
I was so goddamn close.
Yeah, you had the scene, Ian. You had the scene.
You were right. You were right on track, Ian. You were right on track. So with this being said, this last question of the pop culture round is going to Gumpin It. And it is another sports movie question. In the movie Jerry Maguire, future #1 overall pick Frank Cushman sings this made-up 2-word song after he sees himself on the Times Square billboard once again. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Chris, I don't think I've seen Jerry Maguire.
You've
I'm gonna
not
be
seen
completely-
Jerry Maguire?
Ian, you
Yeah.
need to change that.
You do.
All right.
I mean, the only thing I really know from that movie, though, to be honest, is Cuba Gooding Jr. yelling, "Show me the money!" And like they're yelling it back and forth at each other. Made up 2-word song. So we're just looking for the name of the 2-word song,
30
like
seconds.
the 2 words. Future #1 overall. So I feel like it's got to be either like #1, or like I'm rich.
Mm. That sounds good to me, man.
Which
10
one do you like the
seconds.
most?
Number one.
Yeah, let's go
probably.
number one, Mike.
Final answer. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, that's our final answer. Yeah, we're
All
not
right.
getting any better than that.
That is incorrect. Damn. Throbby for Bobby, chance for a 1-point steal. 30 seconds starts now.
All right, no 90s kid, Stephen Miller.
I'm drawing a blank here. I, like Chris, my knowledge stops at show me the money. I do believe he eventually got drafted by the Cardinals, so that I was kind of looking for that angle when I saw Jerry Maguire, but yeah, I have no idea.
5.
Let's go with I'm rich.
I'm rich Let's check it out again, gentlemen. Why not?
No comment.
He's got it all wrong.
Hey, it's Kush on the big TV again.
Oh, I'm sick of me already. I got Kush Lash. Kush Lash. Kush Lash. Kush Lash. Kush Lash. Kush Lash.
Kush Lash is what we were looking for. Guys, if you haven't seen Jerry Maguire, for Ian at all, but if you haven't seen it in a while,
I'm going to be honest. I also have not seen Jerry Maguire.
Oh man,
get on it. Absolutely stellar movie. And
Really,
I mean,
Ben?
it's great that the movie is around a player on the Arizona Cardinals as well. So that's awesome as an Arizona sports fan. But gentlemen, low scoring affair so far. We're tied up with 4 points apiece. And we're down to 3 categories, which is baseball, history, geography, and football. And since Gumpin It just chose Throbby for Bobby, now it's your chance to pick. What would you like to do?
Well, Steve, if whatever we pick, they get to answer first. And I want to watch Chris pull the Band-Aid. So I think we need to go with football or baseball.
Okay, yeah.
Do we pull our own Band-Aid?
No, let's go football. Let's save history and geography. We just got to get through the other rounds. We just got to keep our heads above water.
So we're going with football.
Let's go football.
Perfect.
Football. Or should I say
football?
Gumbo.
Yeah, it's Ben, you're going to have to listen to Ben do his Coach O impression for the next 15 minutes.
Oh, God. All right. Well, the Band-Aid's about to be pulled off because question number 1 is for Gumpin It. And here it is. Question number 1. This player has the most kick return touchdowns in Arizona Cardinals history. Arizona Cardinals history. Famously winning a lucky fan a free house. 1 minute on the clock starts.
Oh, God. The Cardinal is the most kick return touchdowns. Oh, man.
Should I just blindly throw out names, or is that going to mess you up?
Yeah, I don't know. Because the thing, I'm thinking since Mike worded it Arizona Cardinals history and not just Cardinals history, this isn't going to be some bum from like the 1970s when they were in St. Louis. But it is also still very possible. I want to say, yeah, they probably can't have that many. They probably only have a handful. I want to say Patrick Peterson, because I know he did kick return touchdowns. But for some reason, I'm also thinking, I want to say Chris Johnson, but Chris Johnson, he was too older. He was older by then. I don't think he was doing kick returns.
10 seconds.
All right, Mike. I'm going to say Patrick Peterson, final answer.
Patrick Peterson is incorrect. Throbby for Bobby, 30 seconds for a 1-point steal starts now.
It's definitely not Larry. You don't put your stars out to return kicks because it's a little too dangerous injury wise. So it's going to have to be. It is a receiver because they're usually kind of the shiftiest. So it's going to be like I don't know, Andy Isabella. Andy Isabella, final answer. Oh no, Mike, you muted yourself.
How dare you discuss this? Absolutely unacceptable for you to put Andy Isabella. Andy Isabella will never be a trivia question for me. I can't speak for Chris, but guys, the famous 2010 kick return by the hyphen, Larod Stevens Howling. You guys don't remember this? This is a big, big deal.
Oh my God, Stevens Howling.
The kickoff return to start the season, man, against the Oakland Raiders, won a home for Dave Johnson. And Chris, you were correct. The franchise leader is Ollie Matson, who I think has 6. We're not asking that question. I'm only focusing on Arizona Cardinals. But Rod Stephen Hallings has 3 total kickoff returns, and he is the franchise leader. No points there.
Ben with 2.
Wait, what?
Ben guessed, so the person must have 2.
Very close. Very close.
Good guess.
JJ Nelson, not a bad guess. Not a bad guess. All right. Question number 2 is going to Throbby for Bobby. Here we go. This defensive end is 4th all time on the Arizona Cardinals sack leader list and won a Super Bowl in 2002. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
So obviously it's not Vontaze Perfect, my favorite player in NFL history.
No. Perfect never infected the Cardinals with his unique brand of wrestling / football. I think this is going to have to be for some reason I want to say like Suggs, but I don't think Suggs ever.
30 seconds.
I don't think
You don't
Suggs
think he ever
ever
played? No, I think he played for the Cardinals. Let's go with Terrell Suggs. Final answer.
Terrell
Right.
Suggs, final answer. That is incorrect.
He wasn't on the
Gumpin It.
team long enough. Sorry.
Gumpin It, you have a chance for a 1-point steal. 30 seconds starting now.
This is tough, Ian, because it's a guy that played a while, long enough with the Cardinals to be 4th on their all-time sack list, but old enough to have been on an NFL roster in 2002.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure your Arizona Cardinals knowledge is
Piss poor.
minimal.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I can throw names out there like, I don't know, was Strahan on the Cardinals? Was fucking who else is there?
I don't know, Mike. Let's go. Darnell Dockett.
Darnell
Final answer.
Dockett. Very good guess. But that is incorrect. This one might be a little bit tougher for you guys, but growing up in the Valley, this guy was a stud. He had 15.5 sacks, which is the best he ever had for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they won the Super Bowl in 2002. This player is Simeon Rice. He had 51.5 sacks, 122 total in his career. And Chris, you're right. He spent his first 5 seasons with the Arizona Cardinals. That's why he is on this list. No points yet so far in football, but let's see if Gumpin It can get on the board here with question number 3. This 2004 Arizona State junior wide receiver had 1,248 receiving yards and ranked 2nd in the Pac-10 that season. 1 minute on the clock starting now.
Ian, we got to put in a real good educated guess here, because if anyone is going to know it, it's going to be Ben and Steven. Although Ben was all of 11 years old, so that gives me some pause. ASU wide receivers that made the NFL, though. 2004. I guess there's no guarantee he made the NFL, but I would just assume with those stats.
30 seconds.
What do you got?
Because I think that would have been like, that might have even been before Rudy Carpenter. I have no one, Ian. I got
10 seconds.
I don't know. Plaxico Burris.
5.
Plaxico Burris. Final answer.
Plaxico Burris. Do not think that he played for Arizona State. Throbby for Bobby. 30 seconds for a 1-point steal starting now.
Oh, what? 2004? I mean, because that's even before your time there.
Yeah, I would have been a freshman. in high school?
I mean, it wouldn't be like Moe Mutz or something like that.
Who the hell is Moe Mutz?
You
I think
don't
he
know
just-
Moe Mutz?
I think he just made up that nickname.
Oh my god.
10 seconds.
Moe Mutz. We got to go with Moe Mutz now.
No, it can't be Moe Mutz. Is it like Derek Hagan or something like that?
2.
It's all you.
Derek Hagan, final answer.
It always happens at least some point in the trivia stream. Derek Hagan
What?
is correct.
Are you kidding me?
Derek Hagan drafted in the 3rd round in 2006 by the Miami Dolphins. He's actually 4th in total receptions in Pac-10/Pac-12 history.
I am stunned.
Make him show his Google search history.
Show it, Ben.
Pull it up. Pull it
I'm
up.
trying to Google
Screen.
Moby Mutt. I can't even spell
I've been
it
hearing
right now.
I've been hearing clacking over there. No, I know he's typing in the private chat. All right, we got some points on the board here. Throbby for Bobby takes a 1-point lead, 5-4. And this question is actually going to you guys. Question number 4. This former Arizona Wildcat linebacker was drafted in 2003, played 10 seasons for the same NFL team, and helped propel his team to a Super Bowl. I love how you guys keep getting the Arizona questions instead of the Arizona State questions. Sometimes it's how the cookie crumbles. But with that being said, 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Is this Plaxico Burress?
No, this is not Plax. Actually, I think I know this one. This is going to be Teddy Bruschi, who played for the Pats on all of those Dynasty Pats teams.
Final answer. Let's go.
Teddy Bruschi. Ooh, what an absolute legend.
Damn.
Great guess, but that is
Oh.
incorrect.
Dang.
Gumpin It, you got a chance for 30 for a 1 point still here. 30 seconds starts now.
To a Super Bowl. It doesn't say that he won a Super Bowl, or is that implied?
I
What do
think,
you
yeah, I think you're onto something there. To a Super Bowl, might not have won it, but I couldn't name a linebacker out of U of A.
A linebacker from 2003.
Yeah, from when I was 10 years old at best, and then probably 04 to 14
10 seconds.
to a Super Bowl. Oh, I want to say it's like someone on the New York Giants, maybe. No, but he would have won it then.
5.
Warren Sapp. Final answer.
Warren Sapp. I feel like your other guesses were better than just throwing that out, Chris. Sorry, that is incorrect.
What other guesses?
The one that you just said before that.
Oh, did I have?
Giants?
Oh, the Giants.
You were getting closer,
Mhm.
but gentlemen, 308 tackles, 10.5 sacks, 3 interceptions, 5 forced fumbles in 33 games at U of A. He's obviously not as well known for being a Wildcat, but this is Chicago Bears legend Lance Briggs.
Oh,
Lance Briggs.
that would have been the Rex Grossman Super Bowl, huh?
That is correct.
That was
Ian,
a
you were
terrible Super Bowl.
Ian, you were on to it as well. Yes, he helped propel his team to a Super Bowl. They just never won. All right, no points, no steals, but this question is going to Gumpin It. Question number 5. Who was the last player to win NFL MVP that did not play quarterback or running back? 1 minute on the clock starts now.
This is ours?
Yeah.
I feel like I have a really weird sense of inspiration that it's Von Miller, and I don't know why. So please tell me if I'm wrong.
Honestly, that is a great guess because I want to say it's probably a defensive player because I don't think a wide receiver has ever won it. Pretty sure tight ends never won it.
When the Broncos won, did Peyton Manning win it?
No, because he was like way past his prime. I mean, he was good, but well, I don't know because he did throw a ton of touchdowns. But I think they went to multiple Super Bowls.
30 seconds.
That's a
Right.
Ian, I think you're onto something there because I was gonna say if not Von Miller, I was probably gonna say Ray Lewis.
Okay. I have no frame of reference for which one's more right, to be honest with you.
10 seconds.
But
I'm gonna trust you, man. I'm gonna trust you. Sometimes we
Alright.
just gotta stick with our gut. Mike Von Miller, final answer.
Von Miller. Great guess. That is incorrect. Throbby for Bobby, 1 minute or 30 seconds on the clock for a steal. Starts now.
I think they may have just given it to us with Ray Lewis. But
Yeah, I can't help but keep thinking Charles Woodson, but I'm thinking of the Heisman. So yeah, I do think that they're headed in the right direction with defensive player, and that Ravens defense was dominant and absolutely won that Super Bowl for them. So yeah, I think Ray Lewis is the move. Final answer.
Ray Lewis. Great guess, gentlemen. That is incorrect. This one might have been a little bit tougher because you have to go back to 1986, where this defensive end had 20.5 sacks, leading the league, 105 total tackles, 5 pass defended, 2 forced fumbles.
The
LT?
Rock.
It's LT. Lawrence Taylor. Giants. You were just one question early, Chris. We're talking about the New York Giants.
Wasn't LT on the juice though?
I'm sure he was.
I think LT got caught with some underage friends as well afterwards.
Friends.
We don't love it. But no points for anybody on that question. This last question is going to Throbby for Bobby. And question number 6. What NFL team has never had a Hall of Famer play for them? 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Wow.
All right, so we're talking just total mediocrity. All right,
I mean,
you start cycling through bad teams. Let's see if we can think of the Hall of Famer.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
That is a really, really good one. I cannot think of when Blake Bortles is like a shining accomplishment.
I think it has to be the Jags.
Because all the
30
other
seconds.
historically bad teams, like I'm pretty sure the Titans will probably had people when they were the Oilers.
Yeah.
Let's go Jags. Jacksonville Jags. Final answer.
Wow, that really just came to Ben there, didn't it? The Jacksonville Jaguars is correct. The
you
only
got to be on a
NFL team.
truly terrible, terrible franchise for me to know that.
But you also have to think, too, they are one of the youngest franchises in NFL history, too, and they don't have a real long lineage of success. So
They haven't sucked for years like our Cardinals.
yeah. That was a very, very big 2 points for Throbby for Bobby right there. And at the end of the football category, it is Throbby for Bobby 7, Gumpin It 4. Gentlemen, before we pick, how we feeling?
Feeling disappointed that we didn't get any points on the board there. But I'm hoping Ben doesn't get as lucky in the baseball round.
There we go. With that being said, I think it's time for Gumpin It to choose which category. And we have 2 left. We have history and the aforementioned baseball. Gumpin It, what are you guys thinking?
feel like we gotta make up some ground and pick the base boys, right?
Yeah, those are the 2 thoughts. Either we try and close the gap and test our luck in the history geography, or we see what kind of deficit we're going to be dealing with going into the final round.
Yeah. Nice third quarter prayer.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, let's do baseball. Let's just do baseball. Let's hold out for the inevitable.
You know, that's why we're both wearing our baseball jerseys.
Let's see if it helps.
All right, baseball it is. And this first question is for Throbby for Bobby. Question number 1. The Arizona Diamondbacks took a nod to their roots with the recent release of the 2025 City Connect jerseys. Which season did the D-backs unveil their Throwback Thursdays, wearing the original alternate home vest uniforms at every Thursday game? 1 minute on the clock starts now.
It had to be pretty soon after they changed their main colors to that god-awful red.
Sedona Red. Well, and also Throwback Thursday was like a, early days of social media thing. So we're talking 2008, 2009, 2010. I think the 2000.
I think we need to go a little bit further, like to 2012 or 13.
30 seconds.
I like 2012.
All right, let's go 2012.
Final answer.
2012. That's incorrect. Gumpin It, 30 seconds for a 1-point steal starts now.
So Ian, I think this was post-COVID, pre-City Connect. So was 2023 the first City Connect year?
21 or 22 is when they started to go really crazy with jerseys. Because they weren't taking baseball as seriously. They were putting nicknames on the back of the jerseys and shit. So 22 is what I really want to say.
That's what I'm thinking too, because it was after we got Zach Gallen, because Gallen was like all about the vest.
Yeah. I remember that.
And I think we had the Serpientes jerseys for last year and the season before. So I like 22.
5.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right, 2022, final answer.
2022. That's
Oh, was it
incorrect.
21? God damn it.
I think you guys are reading too much into the City Connect aspects. This is talking about just a Throwback Thursday where they wore that vest. It didn't really have anything to do with City Connect.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was celebrating the 20th anniversary of the team's inception. And technically they say the franchise was born on March 9th, 1995, when Major League Baseball owners gathered in Palm Beach to award Arizona and Tampa the 13th and 14th expansion teams in league history. So our answer was 2015. That was the first season that they did the throwbacks. So you guys were like, it was right in the middle of both of you.
Split it.
Yeah.
No points there. And this one's going to Gumpin It. Question number 2. This AL team unveiled the first ever MLB City Connect jerseys in April 2021. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Thinking.
Oh, it's our question. Shit.
Yeah, American League. I want to say Chicago sounds right because I think that's when they did the South Side jerseys.
But this is the White Sox or AL, right?
Yeah, White Sox. Yeah, not Cubs.
I trust you more on this.
Yeah, City Connect jerseys are hard, but that feels right to me.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of who the early adopters were, and that sounds right.
Mm-hmm. Boston was an early adopter, but I don't think that's the answer here.
10 seconds.
That's really all I got.
You want to do White Sox? Final answer?
Yeah, I'm thinking White Sox. Final answer.
All right, we'll go with that, Mike.
Yeah.
White Sox is incorrect.
Damn.
Throbby For Bobby, chance for a 1-point steal. 30 seconds starts now.
So
Go ahead.
I'm in the same boat as Ian. I think the first City Connect jersey I remember seeing was a Red Sox one. I thought they did something green for like Green Monster, maybe. But yeah, I think it's got to be one of the big market teams because they just made a mint off of it. So yeah, let's go Red Sox.
Final answer.
Red Sox final answer.
Oh,
That is correct.
Was
April
it the green?
2021.
Do you have the
It was
photo?
not green. I don't. I wasn't going to include it because that would give it away. A tribute to the Boston Marathon and Patriots Day, as the yellow and blue design
Yeah.
was a
They're
bold
hideous.
departure from the normal look. Steven, their City Connect jerseys this season are the green ones.
Okay.
Did their cities bomb though, or were they a hit?
Probably both.
Okay.
I like what you did there, Chris. All right. Question number 3. We're going back to Throbby for Bobby after the 1-point steal. Question number 3. This 6'5" right-handed reliever drafted by the Seattle Mariners made his MLB debut in 2003 and is currently second all-time in saves for the Arizona Diamondbacks. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
I mean, he sounds like a bum.
Mad. Are you trying to say Mad Bum? Because it's definitely Mad Bum is a starter.
No, I was just saying he sounds like a bum.
03. Who
Because
is big?
Randy was a Yankee by this time.
Yeah. Well, and Randy was not racking up saves. Randy was always a starting pitcher.
Yeah.
I want to say like Archie Bradley, but I don't think he was.
10 seconds.
I think we got to go with it.
Yeah, we'll go Archie Bradley.
Final answer.
Archie Bradley is incorrect. Gumpin It, chance for a 1-point steal. 30 seconds starts now.
I feel like this is on the tip of my tongue. It's an initialed first name, Putz, something Putz. You know what I'm talking about?
It's like JJ Putz.
Yeah.
That sounds like it, because I was gonna say Daniel Hudson, but I don't know if he was a closer.
10 seconds.
Daniel Hudson's also a good guess. Ian Kennedy was a starter, right?
Pretty sure, yeah.
5.
Okay.
I'm down with JJ Putz.
Let's go JJ Putz, yeah.
Always trust your gut, gentlemen. JJ Putz is correct. 83 career saves. He played 12 seasons in the major leagues, and his last 4 of his season were in Arizona. All right. Gaining some ground back with a 1-point steal. And if I'm not mistaken, you guys get this next question.
What's the score?
It is 8-5. Throbby for Bobby still out in front.
Oh yeah, because they stole the Boston one from us.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 4. This 6-foot shortstop played 12 seasons in the majors, made his debut in 2006, and is the all-time record holder for triples in an Arizona Diamondbacks uniform. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Made his debut in 06, played for 12 seasons. That would mean he retired, bad at math, 2018?
All-time record holder for... Because I know... Oh, God, who was...
That can't be Nick Ahmed.
I was going to say Nick Ahmed played shortstop the longest, but it can't be Nick Ahmed, right? No, because he just left the team like 2023. So that's way more than 12 seasons.
He left and came back, right?
30 seconds.
I
Oh,
don't
played
think
12
so.
seasons total. Okay.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, my God. Who else was a shortstop long enough after 2006?
Tony Womack's before 2006, right?
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Oh, my God. We're not going to have to guess Nick Ahmed. No, it wasn't Nick Ahmed.
There's no shot it's Nick Ahmed.
5.
Didi Gregor? No.
No.
Well, actually, maybe. No.
Yeah.
No.
No. No.
Need an answer.
Nick Ahmed. I don't
Yeah,
know.
sure. Nick Ahmed.
Nick Ahmed. That is incorrect. Throbby for Bobby, chance for 1-point steal. 30 seconds starts now.
I want to say it's like a Justin or a Junior. For some reason, the letter J.
Those are names.
is coming to me.
You know, I like Junior. I think let's go down that route. But is Junior at the front or the end of his name?
No, I think it's Justin. Who's a D-backs player? First name Justin. Didi Gregorius.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Didi Gregorius is incorrect.
You're thinking of Justin Upton.
Thank you. But he never did he play short?
No, he's
Justin
not
Upton played
He's
outfield,
like center
yeah.
field, right? Yeah.
This player leads the team all-time record 52 triples. He was the 15th overall pick in 2004. He played 6.5 seasons with the Diamondbacks. Fun fact as well, Corbin Carroll's only 20 triples away from tying this already in his career. But the answer we were looking for is Stephen Drew.
Oh.
Throwback. Going back for you guys. All right, no points there. And question number 5 is going to Throbby for Bobby. Question number 5. These two AL Central teams each committed 12 errors in a game, the most in MLB history. So each of these teams at one point, some game, some year, committed 12 errors. So they're tied for the MLB history.
So AL
Who's
Central.
in the AL Central?
So I think we got to go like two bad teams, which are going to be like the Tigers and the White Sox.
I love that answer. Let's go. Or I mean, were the Guardians that bad at that point?
No,
too?
Guardians have always been pretty good. I feel pretty good about Tigers and White Sox.
What about the Reds? Are they national or American?
Reds are National League.
Okay, then Steven, your final answer.
Tigers and Sox.
Tigers and Sox. Final answer. And that is correct. The Detroit Tigers in 1901 and the Chicago White Sox in 1903. Both games actually also featured 6 errors by the opposing team. So baseball in the 1900s, it sounds like it sucked. 18 total errors in the game. Yikes.
Who could forget those classic matchups?
I mean, obviously, I know what an error is, but for anyone who's watching who doesn't know what an error is,
I like the deduction for reasoning there, Steven. Try and find the worst teams in that division. That's how you get there. All right,
exactly
2 points.
what I was gonna guess.
2 points.
Real quick,
Yes.
because Ben's about to educate us in the next round, so I feel it's only right to educate him here. Ben, an error in baseball is when you do something on defense that results in an otherwise routine play ending poorly. Like if you overthrow first and the ball goes flying over the first baseman's head, or you let a ball slip through your glove on a routine ground ball, that type of thing.
okay.
Yeah. Fumbles, overthrows, things like that.
Exactly what Derek Jeter is doing in the graphic right in front of you, just making an absolute bonehead play like he always did. For
He was
the New
known
York
for that
Yankees.
too, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. 5-time gold glove.
Question number 6. Last question in the baseball round. We're going back to Gumpin It. 13 teams have relocated in MLB history. This city's team relocated to Atlanta in 1966, only to have the Seattle Pilots relocate to that same city 4 years later. So we're looking for one team. Their team left, and then a different team ended up coming back, and they've been there since. 1 minute on the clock, starting now.
It's Milwaukee.
Solid. I believe
Is that a final answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
There we go, Ian.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna go run and grab my Milwaukee Braves hat if you guys let it get to us. Shit.
Yes, the Braves, they thrived in Wisconsin for 13 years. They even won a World Series in 1957, but then they left for the more lucrative market in Atlanta. But the Pilots, they were only in Seattle for 1 season. They were part of a 4-team expansion, and then they moved to Milwaukee where they became the Brewers. All right, add 2 points. And that was our final question in baseball. Going into the final round, which is history, geography, we have Throbby for Bobby with 10 and Gumpin It with 7. Gentlemen, do you have any final comments before we go into this final round?
It was nice knowing you all. Good game. Well fought. Ben, let's go ahead and take us home.
I hope to see Chris and Ian, flex some knowledge on us.
If we get one, I'd be thrilled.
I know a little bit. I played GeoGuessr.
That's fair.
Okay.
Ian, I don't know. Maybe you don't know what we're up against here. Ben is a history buff since birth. He has a college education and degree in history, and he taught history at the 7th grade level. So he's at least smarter than a 5th grader.
And none of them appreciated it.
Did I mention that I played GeoGuessr?
Yeah.
Let me just double down on that.
I don't think Ben knows GeoGuessr, so
All right.
could be onto something.
All right. Well, there
He's
is
the ringer.
always a chance. Never count yourself out. And you can start it right now because question number 1 is going to Gumpin It. And question number 1. In 1958, the largest recorded tsunami occurred in Lituya Bay in this North American state. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Ah, yes.
Is Hawaii
Lituya
too
Bay.
obvious?
Honestly, okay. Hawaii was a state by then, right? Yeah, for sure, because that's post World War II.
Yeah.
It would have to be. You would think it would probably be something on the west
Has to be
coast.
Coastal, yeah.
I mean, we got like 4 states to guess from here.
Yeah, it's also on the
30
Ring
seconds.
of Fire, so it's going to have tsunamis more.
Or would it be crazy if it was like Alaska? No, there's no tsunamis in Alaska.
If it's not Hawaii, it's going to be like Oregon or something random.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's not that random, but
Either Hawaii is going to be so obvious that that's going to be the answer, or this is like a
10 seconds.
that's how I feel. Like it can't be Hawaii because it's too obviously Hawaii.
right. It
5.
up to you, and you pull the trigger.
Shit, Hawaii. Final answer.
That is incorrect. Throbby for Bobby, you have 30 seconds for a 1-point steal starting now.
So, fun fact. Both Hawaii and Alaska became states in 1959. So this was the territory of Alaska, where this happened in Lituya Bay, which very much so is not a Hawaiian name. Alaska, final answer.
Chris, you talked yourself out of the answer, man.
Well, I like to dispute this because at the time it wasn't a North American state.
The question was flawed. That's what threw him off.
Yeah, that's really what
I
threw
was
me off,
literally
honestly.
trying to give you help because I could have just said North American territory. Then we're all over the place.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, Canadian at that point.
All right. So that's a 1-point steal for Throbby for Bobby. We're at 11-7. And question number 2 is going to Throbby for Bobby. In 1960, the largest recorded earthquake occurred in Valdivia in this South American country. 1 minute starts now.
Valdivia earthquake. I feel like obviously that's not a Portuguese because that earthquakes happen along the Ring of Fire, like Ian talked about. So I want to say Chile.
I was going to say Chile or Peru, I think would be the hottest areas of activity. So let's go Chile. It's spicy down
Final
there.
answer.
Chile. That is correct. A magnitude of 9.5 occurred on May 22nd, 1960.
You guys are lucky because I was literally going to say Chile.
All right. The lead continues to grow, but there still might be a chance for Gumpin It. Question number 3 is your guys' question. This question is, what is the most visited national park in the United States? 1 minute starts now.
Could be Grand Canyon. It could be Yellowstone.
I was thinking Yellowstone. What about Glacier? Probably not Glacier. Yosemite?
That's a big one. Yeah. Feel like there's
Is
another big one we're forgetting.
Is Central Park a national park?
No. Most visited national park.
30 seconds.
There's a lot of fucking people at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. It's one of the wonders of the world, right?
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Strip.
That's it, definitely.
10 seconds.
All right.
I feel like Yellowstone, maybe.
Yeah, I feel like it's either Yellowstone or Yosemite because I think Grand Canyon would be too obvious. Let's go Yellowstone.
Yep.
Yellowstone is incorrect.
Damn.
Ben's like, I know this. Let me give you a history lesson.
Throbby for Bobby, 1 point steal starts now.
I was right there with y'all thinking Yellowstone, but I mean, I think of the ones that are the easiest to get to overall. And so I think that would be the Grand Canyon. Steven, any thoughts?
I liked Yosemite just because I feel like that's a little more centrally located. Grand Canyon is not as easy to get to, but Grand Canyon does have the two different sides. You got North Rim and South Rim, so I think you have people coming in two directions. So yeah, let's go Grand Canyon.
Final answer? He has been stumped. That is incorrect.
Wow.
In 2024, this national park had over 12 million visitors. I think Grand Canyon barely gets 4 million, and Yellowstone is number 8 or something like that. But this park is located in North Carolina and Tennessee. It is Great Smoky Mountains National Park.
Yeah, not
those hillbillies.
Not something I'd heard of.
All right.
I'm sorry for mocking you, Ben. I take it back.
No, keep mocking him. He's fine. He'll be fine. All right. This question is going to Throbby for Bobby. Question number 4. Ras Ben Saka is the northernmost point of the continent located in this African country. 1 minute on the clock. Starts now.
It's got to be Morocco, right?
It's either Morocco or Tunisia. I'm trying to think of my handy dandy globe. I think it's Morocco.
Yeah, because Morocco practically touches Spain.
It's they're like this across the known waterway, the Straits of Gibraltar.
They're almost touching tips.
But let's go with Morocco. Final answer.
Morocco. It is incorrect. Gumpin It, you got a chance for 1 point steal here. 30 seconds starts now.
What was this other guess? Tunisia?
Just taking his. Yeah.
I don't know many North African countries. Egypt's North Africa, right? But
is Algiers part of Africa?
Sounds right.
I don't feel confident in it. Northernmost point of the continent.
5.
I want to say Libya, but
nah.
Need an answer.
Tunisia? Final answer.
Yeah.
It's always good to just go with what they guessed, because that is correct. Tunisia is located at the tip of Cape Angela, considered the northmost point on the mainland. All right.
Benghazi.
+1.
I think we're statistically eliminated at this point.
For the sake of the people, let's act like you have a shot.
All right. For moral points here, whatever they call it.
All right. But your final 2 point question in the history geography round for Gumpin It This American president had distinct blue eyes and a cold, stone-faced demeanor, which gave him the popular nickname the human iceberg. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
Is this ours or theirs?
This is for Gumpin It.
Oh shit.
Oh shit. I feel like it's an older dude, like Woodrow
Yeah.
Wilson.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot.
All right, let's lock in Woodrow Wilson.
Final answer.
Yep.
Woodrow is incorrect.
Damn it.
Throbby for Bobby. 30 seconds for a steal. Starting now.
Ben, can you also give us the place that he was born and what star symbol he was?
No, I'm not familiar with astrology at this point. This one is actually kind of stumping me, so it's probably going to be a guess. I want to say like Franklin Pierce, known for being a bachelor president, who also almost basically caused the Civil War. You know what? Let's go with Franklin Pierce.
Final?
Might be those piercing blue eyes, but final answer.
I like that. That is incorrect. We got Ben. We got him twice. This gentleman served 1 term as a U.S. Senator from Indiana and his 1 term as U.S. President. Ian, you're right. It was a long time ago, 1889 to 1893. This is Benjamin Harrison.
The grandson of William Harrison, former president who died 30 days into office.
Oh.
See, even when he gets it wrong, we still get a history lesson. I love it. All right, gentlemen. The last question of the match is going to Throbby for Bobby. So question number 6. When President James Garfield was shot in 1881, this contemporary American scientist / inventor created a metal detector to try locating the bullet for removal. 1 minute on the clock starts now.
It's going to be Edison or Bell?
It's either Edison or Bell. Man. I feel like Alexander Graham Bell was a little bit before Edison. And that Edison was I want to go with Alexander Graham Bell. Final answer.
Final question of the game. Alexander Graham Bell is correct. James Garfield was shot by Charles Guiteau in 1881. The bullet was lodged near Garfield's spine. Could not be located by doctors. Just so you know, guys, the metal detector and removal were unsuccessful. So Garfield did not make it.
Bummer.
All right. We'll add 2 more onto Throbby for Bobby. And officially, with that being said, our final score is Throbby for Bobby 15, Gumpin It 8. Let's pass it over to Gumpin It first. What are your last thoughts? How you guys feeling? Was it just history that let you down? The floor is yours.
No, Mike, I don't think it was just history. I mean, we gotta win the easy ones. We gotta take the easy wins. We gotta know more about the Valley more recently than just the last 10 years. I think those early 2000s questions threw us. But hey, we're 500 now, 1-1. We're basically the Arizona Diamondbacks. But want to thank my teammate Ian.
Yeah, I feel like we choked just about every category a little bit. So it's not just history. It was an all around New York Knicks job. So yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
We'll be back.
Appreciate it, Chris. Appreciate it, Ian. You guys will definitely be back. This is Valley Trivia Plug. You guys know when it comes to sports, I'm going to be throwing in a lot of Arizona Tide questions. So just always keep that in mind if I am the host. But we have back-to-back winners. Our only undefeated team left in the league, if you want to call it a league. Throbby for Bobby, Steven, Ben. Had some great pools. Some great deduction today as well. And then obviously pretty much dominated history as normal. But I will give you guys the floor. It's great to have you back, but floor is yours.
I think this was one of the hardest games of the two that we've played overall. The questions, like, we were just going back and forth with just miffing it on both of them. So I really appreciate Steven for holding down the fort for all of those sports questions. And hey, like, the other piece of it is that I was very nervous to come back on because I knew Mike was going to be having Chris whisper in his ear saying, hey, you got to make sure those history and geography questions are hitting.
There is no such collusion on this front. The only
I plead the
person
fifth.
The only person that I colluded with, if you want to call that, is my fiance. She helped me out with some of the questions. So give some props to Brianna. But Steven, yeah, any last thoughts here?
Well
the
played,
champion?
Chris and Ian. I was definitely sweating after those first few rounds. I need to go brush up on my my 2010 era Suns, some of the glory days. I definitely need to go find myself a Moe Mutts jersey. And Ben, yeah, thank you for bringing it home. Well, I'm already ready for our next round.
Oh yeah, let's keep it going.
Well, the one thing that we do love here at Valley Sports Plug is Valley Trivia Plug. We have a lot of fun. I have an incredible amount of fun making these questions myself. So I'm sure we're going to continue to get Gumpin It involved as a team because Christopher Patrick is normally our trivia master. Maybe some weeks, if he's not playing and I'm not playing, I'll give him the week off and make some questions, keep challenging you guys. But had a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys. This was Valley Trivia Plug, match 8. Congratulations to our winners, Throbby for Bobby, Gumpin It. You guys will be back. We'll continue to test the Valley on their knowledge, but appreciate you guys. Make sure you're following us at AZ_VSP. We're coming live every Tuesday. I think next Tuesday we will be doing Past the Outlet as we look forward to the NBA Finals. But we appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night. See you next time. Peace.